In 2012, a new digital asset called XRP was engineered to do what no bank could: connect the entire world's money in seconds. Supporters called it the bridge currency, but behind that bold claim lies a system that could rewrite how trillions move every day. If XRP is already weaving through global finance, what secrets are hidden in its real-world use, and what might happen if it quietly becomes indispensable? David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, and Arthur Brito began designing the XRP ledger in 2011, searching for a way to solve the slow, expensive process of moving money across borders. They saw the growing pains of Bitcoin, mining bottlenecks, high energy use, and unpredictable fees, and set out to build something different. By mid-2012, their new codebase was ready. Instead of mining, the ledger relied on a consensus protocol between trusted validators, making transactions nearly instant and far less costly. From the start, their aim was practical: create a digital asset that banks and payment companies could actually use to send value anywhere, without waiting days or burning through capital on fees. Early conversations on forums and in technical papers described the project as Bitcoin without mining, but with a clear focus on payments, not speculation. When Chris Larsen joined the team, the company, then called OpenCoin, set its sights on connecting traditional finance with this new, neutral bridge. The result was a ledger built for speed, efficiency, and real-world adoption. Transactions on the XRP ledger reach finality in 3 to 5 seconds, a pace measured in single digits where most traditional systems require hours or even days. This speed is possible because the ledger runs on a consensus protocol, not mining. Instead of competing to solve puzzles, a network of independent validators checks and agrees on the order of transactions. The process is lightweight, using only a fraction of the energy needed for proof-of-work systems. Every transaction carries a base fee, 10 drops, or 0.00001 XRP, set deliberately low to keep costs predictable and to deter network spam. For a typical cross-border payment, this means moving any amount, large or small, with a fee that rarely tops a fraction of a cent. The validator network is open, with banks, exchanges, and independent operators all able to participate, ensuring that no single party controls the flow of value. These design choices make real-time, institutional-grade transfers not just possible, but routine. RippleNet forms the backbone of Ripple's approach to cross-border payments, acting as a unified network for banks, payment providers, and financial institutions. Unlike traditional correspondent banking, which relies on a patchwork of bilateral relationships, RippleNet uses a single set of APIs to connect participants, enabling them to send and receive payments with full transparency and speed. At the heart of this system is on-demand liquidity, or ODL, which sources funds in real time using XRP as a bridge asset. Instead of pre-funding accounts in foreign currencies, institutions can access liquidity at the moment a payment is made, freeing up working capital and reducing risk. RippleNet's architecture is designed for interoperability. Its messaging layer coordinates payment details, while its liquidity engine taps global markets for instant conversion. The Interledger protocol, developed alongside RippleNet, extends this vision even further, offering a pathway for different payment networks and central bank digital currencies to plug in and exchange value seamlessly. This networked approach lays the groundwork for a future where money moves as easily as information, across any system or currency. MoneyGram's partnership with Ripple put XRP's bridge capabilities to the test in one of the busiest remittance corridors, US to Mexico. By 2019, settlement times in this corridor dropped from over 24 hours to under a minute, and MoneyGram reported that their need to pre-fund Mexican pesos fell by more than half. Bitso, the Mexican exchange powering much of this flow, processed a double-digit share of US to Mexico remittances through XRP, handling batches from $500 to over $1 million in seconds. In Asia, SBI Remit and Coins.ph enabled real-time payouts from Japan to the Philippines, freeing up working capital once locked in Nostro accounts. Together, these pilots moved billions of dollars and demonstrated that XRP could deliver real savings and speed at institutional scale. Ripple's decision to lock 55 billion XRP, over half the total supply, into monthly escrow contracts brought new scrutiny to the project's governance. Each month, up to 1 billion XRP is released, with unused amounts rolled into future escrows, all visible on the public ledger. While this system aimed to reassure markets about supply discipline, it also concentrated control in Ripple's hands, raising concerns among banks and regulators about centralization and potential influence over price or policy. In December 2020, the SEC filed a lawsuit alleging XRP was an unregistered security. Institutional partners paused integrations, and US banks stepped back, waiting for legal clarity. The case put a spotlight on how regulatory uncertainty and questions around governance can stall even the most promising financial technology. At the center of global payments research, policy analysts at the Bank for International Settlements have mapped out 3 possible futures for cross-border settlement. Their studies confirm that a neutral bridge asset moving between payment systems in seconds is not just theory, it works in technical pilots. From these findings, 3 scenarios stand out. In one, a universal infrastructure quietly links central banks and commercial networks, with bridge assets like XRP operating behind the scenes. Another path sees selective adoption, where only high-cost, hard-to-reach corridors rely on such technology, while most banks stick with familiar rails. The third scenario leaves bridge assets on the sidelines, limited by regulatory caution and market inertia. Each outcome is plausible, shaped less by code and more by the willingness of institutions to trust a new layer beneath the world's money. In 2019, Ripple's on-demand liquidity corridors processed billions of dollars in cross-border payments, confirming XRP's ability to move value in seconds for a fraction of a cent. The ledger's founders, David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, and Arthur Brito, set out in 2012 to build a digital asset that could serve as a neutral bridge between currencies, eliminating costly pre-funded accounts. Yet, despite technical milestones and real-world pilots, access to detailed transaction data remains limited, and regulatory challenges persist. The SEC's 2020 enforcement action and the ongoing release of 55 billion XRP from escrow have left open questions about governance and institutional comfort. Still, global studies, including those by the Bank for International Settlements, have shown that interoperable systems using bridge assets are feasible. What's clear is that XRP has forced financial institutions and policymakers to rethink the plumbing of international payments. Whether it becomes the invisible rail for global value transfer or not, the idea of a bridge currency, once just a term in white papers, has already changed the debate.